Hey y'all, this is my Real Housewives of New Jersey review for episode 4, season 12. And we left off on the cliffhanger last week because, Dolores, she was bucking in Jackie's face about to lay her ass out. So we get back to the potential skirmish and we see that it was broken up immediately. And Dolores, I think she used to be a former correctional officer. I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking she knows not to hit this girl because Jackie would sue her ass, definitely and immediately. So then Frank comes over and just, asks her, is she okay? She's just like, yeah, she's just getting on my nerves right now. Cue Frank in his confessional and he's saying, I've known Dolores since she was 19. She was raised on the streets of Patterson. Called her a street fighter. When I heard that, I hollered the first time I watched. I totally believe it. Dolores is like Candy, where it's like, don't start none, won't be none. Oh, look at young Dolores, a young woman of color. So Jackie looks unfazed. Her husband goes to check up on her and she's like, well, she don't know what she's dealing with. I think she would have sued Dolores into oblivion if she would have touched her. Like, Jackie wouldn't have done nothing. So the men leave the situation, everything calms down. We see Dolores talking to Jennifer and she says, you think I'm being a bad friend? Don't tell her, okay? Because you and her just got cool. And Dolores has a point, but this is Jennifer's fault. She threw Jackie under the bus. That potential skirmish would have never happened if it wasn't for her. I am questioning Jackie's motives though. On the first episode of this season at the pool party, she was talking mad trash about Jennifer. So what's different now? She just feels sorry for her? I do like, however, how Jackie is not scared of Dolores and Teresa. But she just knows she's going to bring the law into it if they touch her, that's all. Dolores says what she has to say to everybody about this situation, and I think it's done after that. We see her in her confessional saying she doesn't have time for this BS when she has other stuff in her mind. What she's talking about is, she just broke up with her ex, David. So it looks like this potential skirmish has inspired Margaret and Jennifer to talk one more time about this situation. So in this one-on-one, Margaret is trying to get through to Jennifer that, you being upset about this is a double standard when you come at me really hard. I'm just coming right back at you. She said she don't want any smoke with her anymore, but it's because Margaret got her ass. And I've been reading the comments and, I can see a little bit how Jennifer is kind of like leaning into the victim role when, she is just as responsible for hurtful things as Margaret. But, I still feel like she's waving the white flag right now and Margaret is still like just bashing her over the head with that, I can't call it a rumor, with that fact. The conversation looks like it's going well. Like Jennifer is actually hearing Margaret. She says, I understand, but I am still hurt by that. Jennifer admits that hearing about Margaret's affair was a trigger for her insecurities of what happened to her. And she was thinking about the person that had an affair with her husband bragging about an affair, and she aligned that with Margaret. So she was quick to judge. It's good she's having some self-reflection right now. Meanwhile, we have a side conversation going on between Jackie and Dolores is still defending her position on Jennifer versus Margaret. She's saying she's a friend to both of them, and she's definitely being a friend to Jennifer. And if she needs to be a better friend, Jennifer can tell her that and not tell you. And it looks like they're just agreeing to disagree in order for Dolores not to knock her ass out. Jennifer is now trying to explain to Margaret that the reason why she kept the affair a secret was to protect her husband. She's also unfortunately blaming herself too. She's saying her in-laws are probably gonna blame her because, what she's not doing to fulfill her husband for him to step out on her. When she says this, I think we're reminded that Jennifer is from a more patriarchal culture than the other ladies. So yeah, of course she's gonna blame herself, which she shouldn't. Yeah, it's ingrained in her mind that she needs to make her husband happy and keep him happy so he won't cheat on her. Whew, like Margaret and Jennifer are like complete opposites. And damn, Jennifer even got Margaret to feel sorry for her. You got Margaret trying to empower her ass now. So meanwhile, we have Melissa, who I keep forgetting is on this show now, telling the ladies that they're gonna be going to the Shore House for the weekend and everybody's invited. Oh my God, another Shore episode. Didn't they have that last year? Like when they go on the shore, it is always boring. Melissa is lucky she's pretty, after the surgery, and she has an interesting husband. So we're back with Jennifer and Marge, and it looks like they're gonna squash their beef and put it to the side. You have Jackie then hurrying up to them, inserting herself in the conversation when I think they got it, and hopefully they can put this to bed and we can get on to some new drama. So next scene we get a montage of what some of the wives are doing. Boring, fast forward, and now we're with Jackie as she's headed to the doctor's office. So it looks like she's getting a consultation from a doctor to get on the right road to recovery of her eating disorder, because it seems like she's walking a tightrope right now with her eating habits and it can go left at any moment. So she's looking for help. Is this doctor nervous? Because her cheeks are like real flustered right now. Wow, and it looks like someone just started clapping her face just like a dozen times. So the doctor is asking Jackie some personal questions about her eating habits, and from her response, it looks like she's still suffering from an eating disorder. Like, she only eats salads, and maybe 3 times a week she'll eat something that's different. Whew, jeez. I mean, I'm glad she's like taking care of this, because the doctor's listing a bunch of health hazards that has to do with eating disorders, and I had no idea it was that serious. Like heart attacks? Wow. So then this scene ends with the doctor telling Jackie that they're just going to do a bunch of tests on her and then they can accept her for treatment. Next scene we're with Dolores, and she's meeting Frank and their kids for dinner. Ooh, I really hate what Dolores is wearing right now. It's so bad. She is dressed like most of the people I see in the Atlantic City gift shop. So it's Dolores and the kids at the table waiting on Frank, and then they're just discussing how they're all going to be living together again. Like it's just some sitcom. Like these children are grown, especially the daughter, and Frank isn't even married to Dolores. Like he's still dating. But he want to live under the same roof with his ex-wife. Where they do that at? I do like them as a family though. They definitely have potential as a spinoff. So it looks like the main issue with the daughter is she don't want Frank bringing other women to the house. And then with Frank's defense, he's saying, y'all don't be bringing y'all significant others? You don't bring your boyfriend to have sex? So when the daughter says that she can hear Frank, in the room 3 doors down, he's like, well, maybe your boyfriend just isn't satisfying you for you to be yelling in the house. They are not having this conversation right now. Dolores is trying to put a button on this situation. Oop, and now Frank coming for his own son, saying he has a ball gag in the room. And you know what? I totally see it. That food does not match the ambiance of this place. It looks basic as fuck. I still don't understand why they all living under the same roof together as a family. If someone can break that down for me in the comments to where it makes sense to me, please. I welcome it. Yeah, they're just doing this to film together because Frank and Dolores film really well together. They about to have a whole Juan and Robin situation. Dolores is saying not so fast. Like she's gonna still be in her townhouse most of the time, so they're technically all not gonna be under the same roof all the time. So after that, Frank then brings up David at the table and asking Dolores where are they at now. Dolores is like, well, she's stalling now. Just tell your kids y'all broke up. Like he wasn't the right guy for you anyway. The man looked like a corpse, fresh out the ground. I don't believe the kids' reactions. Like, what? And the Emmy goes to. They definitely rehearsed this. Dolores is saying she feels bad because she knew like the kids really loved David, but they just couldn't work it out. So Frank, as well as the kids, are saying, their loyalties with Dolores, but it looks like Frank still sees David a lot too. So he's just making sure, is it okay with Dolores? And she said that's fine. Like he attached himself to the family and got closer to them more than her. That is a sticky situation though when you have like a step-parent figure that's been with the mom like so long. What do you do when they break up? Because y'all not technically related. Like, is that person still in your life? Okay, so next scene, we're just getting a montage of all the ladies getting ready to go to the shore. I do feel like a lot of fast forwarding is about to happen. So it looks like the entire cast is staying on the shore between 3 houses. So you have Melissa and Joe's house, you have Dolores and Frank's house, and then Jennifer and her husband's rental. Oh my God, if Melissa brings up Jennifer's Instagram post one more time, one more time. Like, talk with the girl. I mean, you clearly need a storyline or something. Please, just talk it out with her because I'm tired of seeing that same Instagram post. Meanwhile, we see Jennifer and Dolores both having separate conversations with their husbands right now, talking about the Jackie situation and who's a friend to who and who's not. Jennifer is saying that she just wishes that Dolores was more empathetic to her situation and she could be a better friend. And then Dolores is telling Frank how it's just a bunch of bullshit and how Jackie actually been talking about Jennifer behind her back. Dolores is referring to when they were all at Teresa's house gossiping about Jennifer's husband's infidelity, and Jackie said, well, he shouldn't have stuck his dick up into another woman. So yeah, I think she's gonna pass that little nugget off to Jennifer. Side note, we are 34 minutes into the episode and still no Teresa. Next scene, we have the ladies that are staying with Melissa arriving, and I see that they're still trying to force this Tracy girl down our throats. She's boring. She just really fades into the background, just like her friend Melissa. Oh, so it looks like Margaret and Jackie aren't at Melissa's yet. They're still in the car on their way. And while we're in the car with them, they're gossiping about Louis again, and I'm guessing more rumors have come out about his behavior. I get that they're discussing it out of concern for Teresa, but Teresa already told these ladies she does not care. She is gonna let that man walk her down the aisle, whether he is a serial killer or a closeted homosexual. She might as well be Luann and Tom. Child, so now we just going back and forth through the different shore houses. This episode started out, with a bang, but now it's just like, So next we see Teresa has finally made it to the shore, and she's going to be staying with Jennifer, even though she has her own place on the shore. So it looks like she said she double booked her house, and Louis' parents as well as most of their kids are going to be staying there. So that's why she's staying with Jennifer. Ooh, child, Teresa is smitten over her new man. That is all she is talking about. So Jennifer and Teresa are talking for a bit. Jennifer's just filling her in on what happened at Jackie's keg party, and just saying how Dolores don't really have her back. And Teresa's really surprised by that because last year, the cast was split. You had Marge, Melissa, and Jackie, and then you had Teresa, Jennifer, and Dolores. Also, Teresa tells Jennifer, can she have the barbecue that she planned at Jennifer's shore house now because her house isn't available now. And Jennifer says, oh yeah, that's fine. Whew, moving on. Next scene, we're back at Melissa and Joe. Why does Margaret's husband keep touching all the other wives? That's what I want to know. First it was Dolores, and now he just touching Jackie. So now we see all the ladies are headed to see each other at the beach because this cameraman has been in overtime. We've been switching from shore house to shore house to shore house. So now we're on the shore, and if somebody can let me know, is this the Jersey Shore? I don't think I've ever been there. But now we're with Team Teresa, like I said earlier from the reunion, and just waiting for the other ladies to get there. I swear, they tell us every season how they used to be on the show when they were young, and they show us the exact same young pictures. We get it. They grew up there. They were young at one time. They're not now. Yeah, the whole meal of this episode, this is just something I would fry catfish to. Just, come in and out the kitchen and see what's going on and get back to frying catfish. Melissa's trying to get attention because I'm guessing she's drunk now. She's like, I've been drinking since 10 a.m. Who wants to be fondled? The look Jennifer gave her. She's just so boring. I think Melissa was more lively during Girls Trip. I don't know what happened during her own season, though. We're 4 episodes in. I'm gonna need her to step it up. Here we go with the Louis talk now. You have the husbands over there talking about Louis, and then Melissa brings it up. Oh, so when's Louis coming? Teresa's like, oh, he's coming at some point. I'm sure something is going on right now. He doesn't want to be around them. Soon as Teresa and Jennifer leave for the bathroom a bit, the ladies could not wait to talk about Louis and what they've been hearing. I cannot wait till they finally just confront Teresa about it, because at this point, it's been 4 episodes and they've been talking about Louis behind his back. Damn, you got Margaret as well as her husband, just gassing up everybody about these Louis rumors. So half of the ladies go to the other side of the restaurant, and then we're left with Dolores, Teresa, and Jennifer talking. Jennifer and Dolores are talking about Dolores' breakup, and Teresa is just checked out on her phone, probably texting her man. And then Dolores just tells her that she just broke up with David. And Teresa didn't know, which I'm really shocked by. Like, she said they broke up a week ago. And Teresa's like, why you didn't tell me? And Dolores is like, well, I was just going through it. I didn't want to tell anybody. Dolores said they broke up the day of Jackie's party, which is why she was so on edge. And speaking of Jackie, you know Dolores could not wait to tell Jennifer what Jackie said about her husband. And it looks like Jennifer took the bait. She's like, that is disgusting. I can't believe she would say that. So now she's reigniting their feud again. Dolores thinks that Jackie's just trying to play Jennifer right now. I just think, Dolores is just trying to start some shit. I honestly think Jackie's coming from a genuine place. She just sees herself in Jennifer and how she was last season, because she was a hot ass mess. So it's a little later on, everybody's getting hot and about to leave. They all find out that Louis isn't coming after all, and he's probably gonna meet them later. Keyword, probably. So now everybody's going to their respective shore houses to rest up before they go to Teresa's barbecue at Jennifer's shore house now. So we're with Teresa at Jennifer's shore house, and she gets a phone call, and it's from Louis. He's telling Teresa that he's just a few minutes away, but he just wants to get out of here. And Teresa was asking him why, and she's like, wait, hold up, I might. And he's like, yeah, take it off. Really? Here we go with the OG privileges where she can just take off her mic whenever she wants to. So then we're back at Melissa's shore house, and we see she gets a text message from Teresa, and Teresa told her that she doesn't want nobody talking about Louis right now. Melissa, I don't think she had that text for 20 seconds. As soon as she read it, she went outside and told everybody what Teresa texted her. That's Melissa. I really don't like how Teresa's trying to bully the cast. I mean, you're part of a reality show. Like, who's ever in your life is going to be filmed with you. It doesn't matter if they signed up. And don't they have to sign a waiver too, saying they can be filmed anyway? So yeah, they signed up for it. So now they all know why Louis didn't show up to the beach. This definitely solidified that Melissa has no storyline without Teresa or her husband. And now we have a fourth wall break because production is now talking to Teresa and wondering why Louis is mad. Production tells Teresa that Louis is upset because he feels like everybody is talking about him and he wants to know why. Well, you know what? You're going to have to be on camera and ask everybody. That's what you're going to have to do. But Teresa ain't having it. Like, she's having her little OG tantrum right now and threatening to walk. Teresa's telling the producer that she told Louis not to come around if he feels that way. And she says in her confessional that she signed up for this, Louis didn't. Well, you already heard what I said. Like, he actually did sign up for it when he signed the waiver to be on reality show. I would even go so far to say is he probably wouldn't even be with Teresa if she wasn't on this reality show. Production telling her, look, here's the thing. The story's out there right now, so it's not like you can tell everybody not to talk about it. And of course we're seeing the credits roll right now because we literally have maybe like 30 seconds to go. So of course they're going to end this on a fucking cliffhanger. And now Teresa says she's officially leaving, saying that they're not happy for us. They just keep talking about us. I'm leaving. Production's like, where are you going? Then she looks directly into the camera saying, why are you still filming? So then she gets into her pink Range Rover and drives off. And that is where the episode ends. We don't get a clip of what's going to happen next week, again, which I find very annoying. But yeah, this episode, I hate when they go to the shore because it's so boring, especially the whole middle part of it. But yeah, I'm hoping that it gets more interesting. But as far as Teresa, I think it's time for her to leave the show, even though the show is over when Teresa leaves. But I think this should be her last season. After this, she should get a little wedding spinoff, and then it'll be like the perfect bow to wrap on her whole Housewives career. And then maybe down the line, they could just revamp Jersey because honestly, like, Bravo just backed themselves into a corner, whereas like there's no show without Teresa, unfortunately. Like, they don't have that many alpha girls on here. Like, Margaret, she's alpha, but they need one more, somebody like a star, and they clearly have not found it yet in 12 seasons. Oh, also, I think that production gave us a misdirect on Margaret being the villain of the season. I think Teresa is going to be the villain of the season later down the line, but we'll find out. Anywho, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for Big Brother. Bye.